What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Why We Love PlayStation VR. Sitting across from me this week and every week, he sparkles in the sunlight. It's Desra.
I quit. Bye.
Down with a little Twilight reference?
I am not down with any Twilight references.
Oh, right.
or even Dusk. Dusk Till Dawn, however, yes.
Oh, it's too late. It's way too late.
That's not even... I have not yet begun to reference. By the way, thanks all of you who got the jerk reference 3 weeks ago. Thank you.
3 months ago.
3 months ago. Anyways, yeah. You're my people. All right. I don't even know. Is that a thing? Did I just offend like thousands of people?
7 people are going to come kill you now.
Great.
It's like a gang sign.
Like, these people know where we work. Like, you guys know where, like, 3 of my jobs are.
Can you introduce me so we can start the
show?
Sorry.
And sitting across from me is Brian Paul.
Hi, and this is Why We Love PlayStation VR, and every week on Why We Love PlayStation VR, we try to not offend as many people as we just did.
Well, we don't do that.
And we dive into the PlayStation VR back catalog, and we pick a game at random, and then we play the crap out of it, and then tell you whether you should also be paying attention to this obscure game.
Yeah.
We've actually been doing that recently, which is mind-blowing. Mind-blowing.
Yeah, I still stand by the fact that Skyrim absolutely falls under our original mandate.
Skyrim was like a month ago.
Well, it was a game that came out 6 years ago and had a major update.
Okay.
Okay?
We're doing God's work.
Exactly right.
What game did we pick this week, Desra? It must be just as grand as Skyrim.
Indeed it is. And actually, I want to say... Yes, proportionally, it is absolutely as grand as Skyrim. This is Catlateral Damage.
Love Catlateral Damage.
And seriously, and proportionally, I'm honestly serious. Like, look at how many people worked on Skyrim, then add the enormous number of people who worked on importing it to VR. So out of, like, I don't know, I don't actually have a number. Let's say 150. That's probably
that sounds like a good
least,
number.
Okay?
Sure.
This whole game, one guy.
Yeah.
Uno.
Yeah.
Chris Chung.
Wow. In unison.
How about that?
All right. How many times has that happened to you, Chris Chung? People just walking around saying your name together in unison in stereo.
Well, he was working by himself, so probably never.
Well, how many voices do you think he hears in his head working by himself? I hear tons.
Yeah, so it's kind of exciting. This is a local boy, sort of.
Yeah.
I mean, he's Boston-ish, as it says. Yeah, and he developed this whole game based on his childhood pet, Nippy.
Yeah.
Just from scratch by himself. This is phenomenal.
Can I read Chris Chung's chat? Oh my God, Chris Chung's quote about his cat.
Yes,
that's not going to be easy to repeat. Nippy. So yes. he says, my childhood pet Nippy was the primary inspiration for the game since he was the epitome of what a cat is: aloof, condescending, and demanding, while also lovable, cuddly, and friendly.
Yeah,
I love that he calls his cat condescending, because
yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone use that word to describe a cat before, but it is like the word.
Oh, absolutely.
That describes all cats.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially like when they fall or do something embarrassing and they look at you like you're beneath them for noticing. Yeah, that's great. I love cats.
So, Catlateral Damage so came out on the PlayStation 4. I'm going to deal with this version here.
Okay.
And I'm going to say that came out March 22nd, 2016.
Okay.
But that's not the first time this game saw the light of day.
No. This is a game that's been out for a little bit. In fact, it was a Steam Greenlight, Project Greenlight game. Gosh, man, I can't remember the date. But here's an amazing thing. So when this was first announced, Chris Chung's, there was the demo floating around. People were like, "Oh, this is great." He put a Kickstarter with a very, very reasonable goal of $40,000.
Okay.
I mean, for developing a game like this, that's pretty reasonable. He met his goal 10 days later.
Nice.
Got it up to 61,000 with 2,500 backers.
Well done,
so,
buddy.
Yeah, so maybe a game we reviewed recently was an indie game we kind of crapped all over. I don't want you folks to think that we don't love our indie game developers. This is a tremendous success story. I'm very, very happy about all of this.
Oh, we love indie game developers.
Yes, absolutely.
Special delivery, cavernous wastes. We might not cover these games on Why We Love PlayStation VR. Maybe we will.
Yeah.
Who knows? If we want to get dead sick, we certainly will. But we love those games, and we love those developers. Yep. Keep it up, guys.
So continuing our love song to indie developers, there was like one line I kept thinking while I was playing this game.
What was that?
This is a reminder that games can be fun.
Yeah.
Like actually just fun. It is. We haven't even talked about the premise of the game. Is you start out playing as Nippy, and you're basically just a cat running around the house and knocking stuff off shelves.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
It's the control scheme is pretty simple.
Yep.
You tap R2 and L2 to swipe with your paws, and then R1 and L1 to push with said paws.
Yep.
And then there's a button to meow, which is very important, of course, if you're a cat. And there's a button to grab something with your teeth, which I never saw in the tutorial.
Yeah.
Very strange.
No,
I feel like they don't mention this anywhere.
Nope.
And then suddenly you just walk up to something and you hit a button and like it says, it's got a little icon that pops up and you can drag this thing around, which is like awesome.
Yeah, and really actually one of the only ways to deal with things like pillows.
Yeah.
Pillows are really hard to swat because they're big and heavy and they kind of get stuck. But if you can actually, so little tip, get a big pillow, grab it and drag it, and then you can use it to just sweep all sorts of stuff off in
You're
one big
suddenly
swoop.
like a bulldozer.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. But that's not just what you do in the game. That is the point of the game.
Yes.
Right? So they set you up with all these different environments, and the diversity of the environments is actually pretty decent. It's like, some are just like houses where there's like a bathroom and a bedroom and a dining room and you just knock over books and plates and all that stuff. But man, there's like a museum.
Oh, that's the
You
best.
go and just knock over these gigantic dinosaur skeletons.
There's huge T-Rex, and one of the first things you can do and get tons of points from it is just swat it, and knock the whole thing down.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's fun.
And then, I remember there was a laboratory as well. Oh, it's just so much fun to break
There was like
things.
a summer camp sort of cabin
Yeah.
kind of thing. And here's the thing. It sounds like, okay, this is just like a goofy little physics demo. This game is hard.
Oh, yeah.
It is actually, there are two main ways to play. There's the objective mode and litterbox mode. Litterbox mode is basically, kind of like a sandboxy sort of mode. You're just in the room. It's procedurally generated crap. And little like crap, I mean, as far as the stuff all over the... and you just can play it at your leisure however you want. Objective mode, it's a little different for every level, but you have to knock X amount of items in Y amount of time. And it is hard. It's actually very easy to not meet your objective. As you play, there'll be some items that are like typical cat toys, like scratching posts and things like that. You can smack at those to get special power-ups. Things that increase your speed, increase your jumping, your swatting ability.
Yeah, and if you pause the game... Pause. If you pause the game, then you'll see a meter for all three of those attributes.
Yes.
Swipe, jump, and speed. And man, the meter is gigantic.
Oh yeah.
Right. So it's like in the limited amount of time you have to run around this house and knock stuff over. Man, you become a much more powerful cat by the end of the game.
But you have to play the difference because it takes time to swat those things and get those power-ups. So
Exactly.
it's like, and they're also randomly generated. So, maybe you want some extra jumping, but you're not going to get it, automatically right away. One of the power-ups, which we kind of talked about a little bit, I don't think Brian got it, but was Catnip Mode.
I don't think I saw Catnip Mode.
Oh my God.
What is Catnip Mode?
So all sorts of games in history have had like God mode sort of things where you walk in and like you're invulnerable. Super Mario gets a star and he can run around. I've never had an experience where I felt so powerful and so awesome because it increases your speed. Like you can jump to any shelf in the room.
Nice.
You swat and stuff goes flying across. You're like a little kitty god. It's great. Unfortunately, it only lasts a certain amount of time.
That's a shame. I wish you could just play in God mode or Kitty God mode.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Now, when you're running around and you're trying to complete your objectives, there's also random events that happen.
Yes.
Some of them I couldn't find the purpose for.
Okay.
Like two of them. One's disco mode, where like literally it's like a disco ball drops down and like just like disco lights everywhere. And I'm like, is that just supposed to be a distraction?
I think it's just supposed to be fun.
And then there's blackout mode, where all the lights go out, the electricity goes out. But then there's like moon gravity. That's a random event.
Oh, I never got that one.
Oh, again, without having to like boost your jump skill tree,
Yeah.
all the way to the top. Suddenly, with moon gravity, you can just kind of jump and you can get those top shelves.
That's great.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But of course, all these things, a limited amount of time.
To get to the mouse chasing?
Catching a mouse,
Yep.
and then the laser pointer.
Oh, I didn't get that one either.
Yeah, so
Man.
laser pointer's just like it's.
You got all the good stuff.
Yeah, but I think that pretty much covers it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to call this game a cat simulator.
Yeah.
And you get to be a badass cat, and you don't have to deal with any of the repercussions of being a bad cat. Knocking stuff over is super fun.
And actually, one little So one strategy part of this, and what makes it so difficult, so you're up on that nice high shelf, you knock down the books, but I didn't get any points for that. I just knocked them off the shelf. Everything has to hit the floor.
Right.
So if you knock stuff off a bookshelf and it lands on the bed, that doesn't count. Or if it falls into another shelf. So you find yourself going through a room, knocked everything down. And, oh crap, now I have to come back in there and knock everything down again. So, there is a strategy. You have to work your way from the top down to make sure you're actually knocking everything down. It's again, it sounds just like a silly little physics demo, but there's a game here.
Yeah, and it's funny because if you look up Chris Chung, you'll see that he also designed the game called King Kaiju.
Yeah.
And which is, I mean, it looks like it's Catlateral Damage, except you get to be a giant Godzilla monster and destroy a city. So I think Chris has a specific design goal in mind when he makes games, but he knows what fun is.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing. That's definitely what we're trying to get across here. Because, I mean, the graphics are like PlayStation 2 cell-shaded era graphics.
Yeah.
Right? There's some screen tearing. Sometimes things get stuck inside other objects. Like, it's not perfect.
But again, he did this himself.
Yeah. So
great. I mean, yeah.
We're not giving you a hard time, I promise you. We're just saying that like there are fun games that are just fun because that's what they were designed to be, and they don't have to be technically impressive games.
Yeah.
Just a few other things here. There's photographs of cats everywhere. There's like 230 of them.
Yeah, and that's your unlockable for the game. Like that's your little nugget you're trying to go and discover is to get all the pictures of the cats.
Just go knock them over.
Yep.
And that's how you collect them. Knock them off walls. It's very satisfying, the whole thing.
You can, and then if you are a trophy hunter, go to the museum. That's where you can get like tons because of course on the museum walls are tons of the pictures of the cats. So
so what a great game.
What a fantastic game!
It was $10 when it got released. It's been on sale numerous times. There's as far as indie games go, it's a blast. But it's something didn't go quite right.
It also came out in VR,
and that's what didn't go quite right.
Yeah, so a little surprise. We've been talking this whole time about the non-VR version.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of fun on your regular television in non-VR. But we got a patch for the PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
If it wasn't at launch, it was very, very soon after launch. And, well, it's got some issues. And by got some issues, it's like a totally different game.
Yeah, and it's not nearly as fun. I've gone on record as being the guy who stands up for teleporting and move controllers when other people are crapping all over it. That's basically like you're using the move controllers to control your paws, and it's teleportation. And it's much less fun. I'm sorry, Chris.
So here's how this game works in VR. Your move controllers are suddenly your paws.
Right, which seems brilliant.
And when you first see it in VR, it's adorable.
Yep.
Like suddenly your move controllers are these gigantic paws. Like it just feels so good. You're like, look at me.
Yep.
I am a kitty.
And way bigger than the models used when you're using the
way bigger.
Yeah,
absolutely. Like it's just adorable, and I love the way it looks.
The big foam fingers like football games, like that size.
Yeah. It feels good. Yep. It looks good. It's awesome. And then you try to like do anything else other than SWAT, and it doesn't go well because, like Dad says, it's teleportation based, and I think there might even be a way where that could have been all right, but it doesn't work in this game at all.
Yeah.
One of the great things about Catlateral Damage proper is that you can just run around and jumping feels good, like you just like launch up in the air like super high, and you just land on stuff, and if you land on stuff you just knock it out of the way. But what the teleportation system does in this game is it shows you the arc of the jump, quote unquote, but and it's green if it's somewhere safe to land, and it's red if they won't let you teleport over there. If it's like you're landing on an object or something, or you're too close to the edge. I'm like, well, that takes all of the fun out of it, because now all you're doing is sitting there going, is this a safe place to land? What about this place? Can I land over here? No. How do I get up to that shelf? It's all red. I don't. There's no fun, no chaos, no haphazardness. To the game. Like, it took everything that was great about Catlateral Damage and removed it.
One of the most fun moments in playing the regular version is finding a bunch of books all lined up, and then just like plowing into it head first, not even swiping it, just pushing it down by running through it, which you just cannot do with a teleportation movement system. Yeah. And also, so did you try the click turning at all?
Oh God, it's not good.
Yeah, for a game, again, the objective, when you play objective style, it is you need to do X by this amount of time. The click turning, I mean, that's like everything goes. All you see are the arrows of the direction you're moving.
Yeah. It doesn't feel good. The click turning, everything, the motion. I mean, I guess you could actually stand up and try to like run through those books yourself, and I think that would be horribly dangerous.
Yeah.
Because this is we don't deal with room scale when playing PlayStation VR, and also there's that button seems to be missing. Remember the grab something with your mouth button?
Yeah, no,
that button doesn't seem to exist anymore. So they've really kind of changed the entire game here.
Yeah.
Now, I don't even know what to say about this because this was a game I was actually, and it sounds dumb, I reviewed this game before PlayStation VR was even a thing. Mm-hmm. If you go back on the channel, you can still find it somewhere. And oh God, it's awful.
Yeah.
my reviews, I feel like I've come a long way, and I've still got a long way to go. But oh man, this is a rough review. But I really liked it. And so when I heard it was getting PlayStation VR support, I was looking forward to it because I was like, how awesome will it be, like Windlands, to like just like jump and be crazy and do stupid things in VR. And they don't let you do that. And I feel like they could have easily not used the Move controllers and easily ported this game over with the DualShock 4 and just kept all of the same mechanics.
Right, yeah. If there was just, even if that was an option, just like, oh, do you want to use the Move or the DualShock? Because, again, I'm not, I'm not a programmer, I'm not a game developer. I don't know. Maybe that is actually a really difficult thing to do.
Maybe.
Chris, hey, you know what? I would love to, you're close. Let me take you out to coffee. Come by the restaurant. Let's talk. Because I honestly, if you do watch this, we would love to meet up with you and like just talk about it and actually find out the answer. How hard is this? What are the sacrifices you had to make to do this? What are the things that we don't know about that make this card? Because believe me, I know we're kind of talking out of our ass with a bunch of this stuff.
Yeah, because obviously coming up with a new control scheme seems more complicated.
Yeah.
So why not just take the game you already have and put it in VR? I keep using the air quotes. That's silly. So that's, I guess that's kind of it, right?
Yeah. So I guess we're getting to our ratings here.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. One last thing.
One last thing. Okay.
Wait, maybe I can edit this in. Ready? We're gonna edit this in.
Okay.
And also, let's try that again.
I think you should leave all of this
keep it in.
Yeah.
All right. Fantastic. And also,
we're professionals, Chris.
The other thing that doesn't make sense about the Move controls is that you have to start the game with the DualShock 4, and because on the menu screen,
yes,
you can't use the down arrow or access anything on the menu screen with the Move controls. So you have to use the DualShock 4 to go into VR mode, and then it says turn on your Move controls and hit these buttons. Yep. So you have to turn on your DualShock 4 before you can even switch over to the required Move controllers.
Right. At first, I thought something was broken.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed.
Yeah. So,
so our rating scale might need to be altered for this episode.
Because I don't think so.
Okay.
But, okay.
Do it up.
What's your?
Well, I was going to say maybe we need to give this game 2 ratings because this show is called Why We Love PlayStation VR, but obviously this is an episode about 2 very different games.
Yeah.
So maybe we need to give it 2 ratings.
All right. I'll play that game.
What were you going to suggest?
No, we'll do that.
All right, so why don't you tell everybody what our rating scale consists of?
So our rating scale is, it's got 3 levels to it. Level 1 is, oh my God, you need to buy this game. If you have the PSVR, or I guess just a PS4, this should be in your library. It's a must-have. Number 2 is, it's okay. You know what? For the money you pay for it, it's great. Maybe if you get it on sale, awesome. But, sure, why not? Number 3 is no. Do not buy this. Do not support the people who made this. Friends don't let friends buy junk. Okay. So I guess for, let's say, the PS4 version, just non-VR, a straight up version. What do you think?
I think this is a 1.
Yeah. Oh, no question. This is a 1.
It's $10. It's often on sale anyway, but that's not the point. The point is that even at $10, it's stupid fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's just ridiculous to be able to run through a house and just cause mayhem, destruction, and being a cat, finally getting inside a cat's brain and being like, why do cats do this?
Yes.
And you're like, oh, because it's so awesome.
I was saying every level also starts with a little thought balloon on the cat. They didn't feed me. They must pay.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense to me. And so for the PlayStation 4 proper version, I'm definitely giving this thing a 1.
Yeah, no question. So how about for the VR version, PSVR?
No. If you're buying this for the PlayStation VR version, don't even consider it. This is absolutely a 3. This is the biggest 3 I'll ever give.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go for 1 again.
What is going on here?
I want to support independent developers, okay? This guy...
And support independent developers, but make sure these people know what they're getting.
Yeah.
For as a review goes, we need to make sure that if you're buying it for PlayStation VR alone specifically,
Okay.
you need to know what you're getting.
Yeah. So...
This wasn't implemented properly, and I know these are the early days of VR, and for a one-dude development team, like, it must have been tough. But this didn't land the way the original game did.
Yeah, I guess with that in mind.
Go buy the game and support Chris so he can make other awesome games.
Well, see that's my justification for saying the 1.
Yeah.
You know, I want to see what else this guy can do. I want to see, you know, if he gets like a serious budget or teams up with another a publisher that can kind of help support his creativity. I would love to see that. So I'm still not going to go for a 3. I'll say a 2. I'll say a 2 for the VR because it isn't, it isn't super fun. It is kind of neat. I would say like if you have a little one, maybe just jumping there and playing letterbox mode and swiping things around. Yeah. That is kind of fun. But yeah, it is a much less. It's the first thing I think we can both agree on this. The first game that has disproved sort of the station's motto.
VR doesn't make everything better.
It doesn't make everything better.
So this is my plea. To Chris Chung, and I feel like we've said his name more times than we've ever said anyone's name ever on the face of the planet.
Maybe Jesse Schell.
Maybe Jesse Schell. But Chris Chung, this is my plea to you. If by any chance you have any desire to keep working on this fantastic game, I would love a proper PlayStation VR version that is just the original game in VR, DualShock controls, full locomotion, just the way you designed it to begin with, just the way it was perfect. As just you gave us a great game. Let's keep it that way.
And honestly, we haven't had a guest in a while, so if you ever want to come on the show and
he's not going to guest after this episode. He's going to be like, I thought the VR version was perfect.
And I'll say one last thing. If you're still not sure if this game, even the original version, is for you, go look up the trailer, the preview trailer for this game. Not the ones that show gameplay. There's one with 2 actors.
Yeah, I've seen this.
If you think that is funny, you have a soul, and this is the game for you. If you think it's stupid and why you're going to waste your time watching that, maybe just let the rest of us have some joy.
Easier answer than that. If you liked Katamari Damacy, you'd probably like this.
There we go.
All right. Well, that pretty much covers it for another episode of Why We Love PlayStation VR. Did you play Catlateral Damage? Did you play it in VR? What are your thoughts? Tell us in the comments below. Maybe you disagree with us. I would be very curious to know if there are people out there who absolutely love the VR version. Maybe we're missing something.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would love to hear there's some button combination that we totally missed out on, like, the biting and dragging thing. Yeah. Maybe there's something that changes everything, which I would be so happy to find out.
So it's for Why We Love PlayStation VR. I still can't remember the name of this show. I'm Brian Paul.
Well, we change it every 6 months.
We do, in general.
I'm Desra.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye.